In the quiet suburbia, a wife shouldered her roles dutifully, cooking, cleaning, and the silent support for her husband. But beneath her facade of domestic bliss, she harbored a torrid affair, a forbidden liaison blossoming across oceans. As the affair unfurled, guilt gnawed at her conscience, driving her to drastic measures. With trembling hands, she laced his drink with a lethal dose of poison, a final act of desperation to silence the guilt and keep her secrets buried forever. This Missourian lady is charged with poisoning her spouse with the poisonous lily of the valley plant, which can lead to cardiac issues. She had an affair with a man who resided halfway across the world, which is the reason for this. You might assume that an ENT design teacher at a private Christian school wouldn't act in this manner, but allow me to introduce you to Sarah Sheffer, a 37-year-old Missourian who works at Calvary Lutheran High School. Her life appears to be centered around optimism and creativity, but that wasn't the case before an unforeseen circumstance happened. In 2022, Sarah used her 20 years of experience in the arts to land a job in the same city as the executive director of a nonprofit art gallery. A YouTube video of her displaying the inside of an art gallery shows how intimately engaged to the world of aesthetics and expression she was.
I'd like to bring art into the community more with a community.
Sarah would be a wonderful wife and mother if we can pull off this program's successful launch, which would match artists with nearby companies to give them opportunity for displays and increase their sales and exposure. At the start of 2024, on the other hand, the exact opposite occurred. Her husband, Matthew Sheffer, was obviously terrified as he went into the police station and related his terrifying tale. Matthew was certain that his own wife was deliberately poisoning him, which was why he was concerned. This was not your average dramatic TV show or film rehearsal. He said that for 6 weeks he had been in mute anguish because his wife had been surreptitiously putting poison to his food. When Matthew started having severe symptoms after eating or drinking something that his wife had served him, he started to get suspicious. Among these were dizziness, nausea, excessive exhaustion, and blurred vision. When Matthew took a sip of the seemingly innocuous drink Sarah had given him on December 31, 2023, he complained that it didn't taste right. When he questioned Sarah about it, she casually admitted to adding her own urine and a potent adhesive to the drink. This was concerning enough for him to look further into what was going on. This shocking discovery so shocked Matthew that he made the decision to act independently. He put a clandestine CCTV camera in their kitchen because he wanted proof. In the video, Sarah is seen putting strange things in the blender to make smoothies for her spouse. The lily of the valley root was surprisingly one of the ingredients. Cardiac glycoside-containing plants are particularly dangerous since they slow down the heart, which is definitely not something you want. After some study, I found that many people are unaware of the plant's high toxicity. Despite its harmless appearance and gorgeous white bells that seem to make it a good home for Tinkerbell, this plant is actually one of the most dangerous species known to science. It may be found in North America, Europe, and Asia. In the Northern Hemisphere, it is commonly linked to happiness, being the birth flower for May. All parts of the plant, including the bulbs, stems, leaves, flowers, and berries, contain 38 different chemicals that upset the heart. Consuming it could result in decreased heartbeat, nausea, vomiting, skin rashes, and blurred vision. Who would have thought something so beautiful could be so dangerous? Before even glancing at the secretly captured CCTV tape, Matthew returned to the location and noticed something noteworthy. He stated that he had observed a bag marked Lily of the Valley propped up on a table at Sheffer's home office. Matthew guessed that the green dish next to the bag held a root. Swiftly moving, Matthew snapped a photo of this crucial document, and with the help of the secretly captured CCTV film, he now had concrete evidence. Sarah was arrested that same day when he quickly called the police to report the incident. It was said that during Sheffer's police interrogation, he admitted to deliberately putting the Lily of the Valley root into the mixer with the goal of injuring the victim. Law enforcement claims that Sarah knew full well that this plant might have played a role in her husband's demise. When the accused provided Matthew food or drink, Matthew was questioned 8 times. Each time, the food or drink had a strange, uncomfortable flavor that coincided with the preparation of the possibly hazardous smoothie. With a nonchalant air, she stowed it away in the refrigerator. Even more alarming is the fact that rather than hiding or locking it away and setting it out to dry or in another drink, she didn't seem to consider the prospect that her 2 children would find it and take a taste. The worst part is that she poisoned her husband for an entirely irrational reason. Sarah's dangerous act was motivated by her romantic relationship with a man in Pakistan. Information she found while conducting recent online searches before attempting to poison her spouse supports this startling discovery. She's been looking non-stop for flights to Pakistan. Thankfully, Matthew's sickness was easily treated, and he lived to tell about it. Although it's a relief that things did not end tragically, this is not the first time something of this nature has occurred. Another incident involving a man who passed away in Utah a year prior involved his wife apparently adding fennel to his drink. Amazingly, she even went on to write a children's book about loss after that. According to court documents, the husband expressed suspicions that his wife had attempted to poison him on multiple occasions and made it plain that she would bear the consequences of anything bad. Unbelievably, 6 months ago, the same thing occurred again. When her husband, a U.S. Air Force member, began to suspect foul play when they were stationed in Germany, Arizonan Melody Felico Johnson found herself in a similar scenario to Sarah. It is said that over several months, Melody attempted to taint her husband's morning coffee with bleach. Nevertheless, her spouse was unaware of the peculiar flavor for several months. After conducting some research with pool chemical strips, he discovered that his cup contained an excessive amount of chlorine. That's when he decided to take unilateral action, installing a hidden camera to capture Melody. In 2018, Lana Clayton discovered her husband, Steve Clayton, dead at the bottom of their South Carolina home stairs, which was another unsettling episode. The coroner's office first believed that Steve's death could have been the result of a heart attack, but Steve's nephew, Nick French, a fellow police officer, saw that Lana had not attempted to revive him and that Steve's phone was missing. Following an autopsy and toxicological examination, tetrahydrozoline, a peculiar chemical, was discovered in Steve Clayton. It was alleged that Lana Clayton poisoned her husband with eye drops, causing his premature demise. It's uncomfortable to think that these disturbing reasons have been coming up, bringing attention to the darker side of relationships and the unexpected risk that can be present behind closed doors. Even if Sarah Scheffer's circumstance is not very unique, it's important to understand that this kind of behavior is abnormal and should not be tolerated. Given the agony Sarah caused her husband, even if it's clear from her actions that she may not be in the best of moods right now, it's hard to see Sarah getting any type of mercy. The school deleted her name and picture from its website after learning of her arrest, indicating that she is no longer employed there. Police reportedly tipped off Calvary Lutheran High School about a criminal case involving a staff member who had been placed on leave, according to ABC News. Head of Calvary Lutheran School John Chrisman made it clear in a statement that the school takes care of everyone associated with its programs, and that as such they handled the situation delicately and with compassion, as any decent Christian community would. The most important thing to remember from this is that neither the school nor any other employee were involved in any of the events. Meanwhile, Scheffer had her turn in court, adamantly stating that she intends to have her own legal counsel and that she is innocent. Because of her suspected poisoning episode, prosecutors think Scheffer poses a risk to public safety and are working to revoke her bail. Her relationship with a man in Pakistan is also seen by them as a possible means of escape. Scheffer is now being detained at the Cole County Jail. Scheffer's future is currently in doubt while decisions are made by the legal system, and the court has the power to decide how her case will be handled going forward. The outcome of this case will have an impact on Scheffer's life, as well as provoke thought on the difficulties involved in justice, responsibility, and finding the truth.
Hey, thanks for sticking with us today. Check out this other thrilling videos for you to watch, and while you're at it, hit that subscribe and like button, and let us know down below your thoughts on today's case. Until then, take care.